So if I keep going on now, just to review, I'll remind you more of our statistical mechanics, degrees of freedom, right? Recall we get 1/2 K Boltzmann T, 1/2 kBT per degree of freedom. So if I talk about a linear molecule right here, okay, we recognize all molecules or atoms will have 3/2, I used RT, so I'll stick with the RT, has 3/2 RT degrees of translational freedom, right, from motion in the X, Y, and Z directions. So we get 3/2 RT degrees of freedom there. But so this linear molecule, it can rotate in 2 unique dimensions, as noted here in this figure. Okay, so that's going to give me another 2/2 RT, giving us 5/2 RT for a linear molecule. Okay, recall a nonlinear molecule will have 3 RT, so it has 3/2 RT translational freedom, and there's 1, 2, 3 degrees of rotational freedom, so that's also 3/2 RT. So why am I reviewing this? Well, remember, recall solids, heat capacity of a solid, okay? And I'm going to draw a cube here. And if you recall, in a solid, and what I will call a perfect solid, perfect crystalline solid, it can vibrate in a dimension coming out of the board or a dimension going into the board. It can go to the left, it can go to the right, it can go up, and it can go down. And each one of those gives me what I'll call 1/2 RT, okay? So 1/2 RT, 1/2 RT, et cetera, for a perfect solid, giving me 6/2 RT. And then we recall that the derivative of internal energy with respect to volume, the derivative, I did that wrong. This is why I need a review. The derivative of constant volume internal energy with respect to temperature gives me CV. So if I take the derivative of this, I get, 3R. 6/2 equals 3. So I get 3R. Okay? So you can see now heat capacity of a solid, CVM, equals 3R. There it is. But what is this little chunk right here? Okay? So this chunk is a function of temperature. It's what we call one of the Einstein equations. Okay? And what I want to point out, look, it's another Boltzmann-like distribution. That's kind of all that I want you to recognize from this. It's another Boltzmann-like distribution. So the heat capacity of solids is another population of states. Okay? So how do we get that that's a Boltzmann distribution? Well, recall this theta E, that's the Einstein temperature, which is h nu divided by k. Okay? Well, remember, if E equals hc divided by lambda, it also equals h times nu, h times frequency. Okay? I see you back there. So when I look at this exponential here, this e to the theta e divided by 2t, so check it out. We recognize that h nu is energy. Okay? So look, this just becomes e to the 1/2 energy divided by k Boltzmann T, which is kind of cool. Okay? And now, I talked about this a little bit last semester, but there are slight differences between the Einstein temperature and the Debye temperature. And I don't want to get into a lot of those details. They both do a really good job at predicting or approaching this 3R when you're at a sufficiently high temperature. Okay? So there's just, obviously subtleties between the two formulas and equations at lower temperatures. And I don't want to spend a whole lot of time getting into that. The main thing to review is the heat capacity of a solid at room temperature will be 3R. However, at low temperatures, this is where interesting quantum mechanics type stuff is occurring. okay, via the Einstein distribution or even the Debye distribution. Okay, folks, so that is a good place to leave off for video number 1. I will pick up with wave-particle duality in video number 2. Hasta luego.